So it's like a really nice day outside, and I haven't really taken the camera outside and done a lot of shooting, especially first-person shooting, but I'm holding it in my hand, so it's going to be a little wobbly. So I thought today, since it was so nice outside, I would take the camera out, and I would at least do a portion of this video outside. And the reason is because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about my my Fitbit. Now, I've been using Fitbits for a while, and I don't know, I've gone through at least 4 of them, and I've recently switched to the Fitbit Surge. And the Fitbit Surge looks almost exactly like the Fitbit Versa that I had before. But there are some critical differences with the Fitbit Surge that actually makes me want to recommend it to you. And very recently, I was not so nice to the Fitbit people on Twitter. I was giving them a hard time because I had a problem with the app and I had to reset the previous watch yet again. But I have to say that this particular one, it addresses a lot of the beef that I have with the Fitbit Versa. I think it's version 1 or 2. I think my beef with either of those watches would be the same because they're very physical. I'm gonna go over here because it was a little sunny and I couldn't see. So this is a little bit better. This video is not going to be let me go into ad nauseum about all the features about the Fitbit Surge versus the Versa versus whatever. Right? There's going to be people that are going to do a better job of that. But I have some very, very specific things that annoyed the hell out of me with the previous Surge that I want to share with you. First and foremost, the band on the Fitbit Surge is much better than the bands that came with the Versas. 2 reasons. The previous bands had these loops that would keep the extra material from flopping around. This has a tucking system, so you take the extra, you pin it, and then you tuck it under, so it's never flapping around and you don't have extra material on the band. So much better. More importantly, taking the band off on the Versa was a nightmare. I actually needed a special tool to get the pin out, to pull the things off, and then to put the new pin in. It was a miserable experience. This has a simple button. I'll show it. It has a simple button. You hit the button, you pop it off, you're on your way. Very, very simple. Similar to the earlier Fitbits that I used to own. Very, very simple to replace the bands. And you know, the bands, they don't last very long. So it's good to have replacements. And I bought the red one, didn't come with it. It came with a navy blue solid band, and I bought a aftermarket third-party red band. Yes, red. I like the colors. That's got like the holes punched in it, which I think is better because it makes it easier to breathe, the skin to breathe. So big improvement on the bands and being able to take the bands on and off and replace them. The second big improvement is the charging cable. It annoys me that Fitbit uses proprietary charging cables with all of their devices. I hate proprietary cables. I hate having to carry an extra cable around. But the Fitbit Versa charger was a monstrosity. Again, I have one extra one. I'll show it in a second, or I'll probably overlay it on this. But the Versa was horrible. The charging cable, it's this giant claw. And even with the claw, you never exactly, it was never 100% secure, so a lot of the times you would leave it to go charge, and then you find out that it wasn't charging. I hated that claw. And then the other reason why I hated the claw, and I'll show it again, is on this watch, I have a protective cover on the top, and I used it for the other one too. Now, I'm assuming that the Surge has a better, better Gorilla Glass, and it probably doesn't scratch as easily. But I always have a tendency, because I swing my arms a lot when I walk and move, I scratch the hell out of the face of all of the Fitbits that I've used. And so I found these cases that or these covers that you could put on top, these plastic covers that snap on. But every time I wanted to charge the watch, I had to take the cover off and then I had to put it in the stupid claw. With the Surge, I don't have to take the plastic protective cover off, and the Surge's charging cable is magnetic, and it's small, and it's fairly easy and compact to carry around and to keep in a bag, and again, I'll show that in a second. Speaking of batteries and charging, I have to say that the Fitbit Surge lasts about a week without having to charge. The Versa would lose power after 2.5, 3 days. So this is a much nicer experience. I don't have to charge the watch every day, and I like that. But you know, it also messes up my routine because usually every time I go for a run or exercise, when I take a shower, I put it on the charger. Now sometimes I forget, but so far no problems. This isn't a big giant review of Fitbit technology. You know, you either have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or whatever it is, and whatever your preferences are. I generally get the Fitbits because I really just want something that tracks my steps, tells me the time. Historically, actually, I didn't even use the alerts that were available on the phone. So like when somebody's calling you or you get text messages, I shut all of that stuff off with the previous watch because I found it to be distracting. But my wife convinced me to turn on the alerts, and I'm pleasantly surprised that even Discord, we use Discord a lot for chatting, even those alerts can come through. So, you know, if you're someone who's distracted, maybe you don't want those, or you get annoyed by people texting you all day, which I get annoyed when people text me all day. This is the pouch that I keep all of my wires in on my travel bag, like my vacationing bag. I try to keep like a special bag with all the wires that I need in one place. It's small. I try not to keep a lot, you know, for like that type of stuff. This is the old charger. Bad. Very happy to be taking this out. I'm actually reorganizing my bag in real time. This is the new cable. Watch. Cable, watch, magnet. Boop. Done. Done. That's it. Magnet. Let me do it again. Magnet. The big question, now that this monstrosity is not in my bag anymore, do I have space? Do I have space? I bought a mouse. Microsoft Arc mouse. So, different review for a different day, I suppose. Let's see if I can fit this in cleanly. No extra space. This thing's gone. This thing's still the same width, and I have a mouse now that I can carry, a Bluetooth mouse. One thing I will say about this mouse that irritates the hell out of me. When you're traveling, you don't want to carry like AAA batteries and stuff. This thing takes 2 AAAs. If they made this thing rechargeable, it would be so clutch. But it's not. It takes batteries, which means I always have to worry about, when I go on vacation, having an extra set of batteries with me. And, you know, you might be saying, well, you have to have a charger. Well, I carry an extra charger with me too. Extra battery. I have 2 batteries. I have one that goes in the main bag, and I have one that goes in here. So, that's the only bad thing, Microsoft. Bad design. Charge. No batteries. Come on. We're supposed to be green. Throwing all these batteries in landfills and stuff. Like, I don't use it a lot either, right? Because I keep it in the bag. So, like, I don't want to have to worry about the batteries on that thing. That was Bobo. Shouldn't have done that. But besides that, we're not talking about Microsoft mice. We're talking about the Fitbit. Psychologically, they've beaten me. I check every single day to make sure that I've hit my 10,000 steps. And if I don't, I move around the house and pace around the house like a tiger until I hit my 10,000 steps. So, you've won, Fitbit. You have motivated me to get off of my lazy rear end in my corporate sedentary desk life. I do recommend the new Fitbit Surge because of the tactile improvements that they've made. The charger's better, the bands are better, and taking the bands on and off are better. Everything is just generally a better user experience for the physical, not the digital, not the app. I mean, the physical daily usage of the watch is much better. It's more thought out, and the things that drove me crazy, they've remediated, which that's what you're supposed to do. So, good job, Fitbit. Sorry I blasted you on Twitter. Actually, I'm not. Your app still sucks. The end.